Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I just recently got back on Instagram and am having a ton of fun doing my daily Insta stories. So you can go find me at Alisha Leytem. But I posted a survey and I asked you guys what topic you would like to hear on me doing a video today. And the winner was very slightly, it was pretty much like neck and neck. But this is the winner, which is how I accidentally started an online business. So this is kind of like a story time. I don't really have like an outline or a plan. Just gonna tell you how I am doing what I am doing now. I would have never, ever in a million years have believed you 10, even 5 years ago, that if you would have told me I'd have an online business worldwide, working with thousands of women and men to live more natural and healthy and loving spiritual lives, I'd never believe you. But here we are. So this is how the story goes. I'm not gonna break into Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Okay, this is what happened. So back up 5 years ago, I was preparing to get married. So I've been married about 5 years. My husband and I, we were getting married, and I wanted to look good for my wedding, like a lot of people do, the truth. So I was not very healthy in college. I gained a ton of weight. I was definitely a party girl. I was not known as someone who would ever work out. And I liked pizza a lot. So for me to start taking an interest in living healthier and taking more care of myself, it was this new kind of switch for me. And so I started to do this. I started to get healthier, and I started following what were called healthy living blogs. And this was a lot more popular, I think, 5 years ago than they are now, but 6, 7 years ago, that kind of thing. But I loved it. And I followed them religiously. I had some that I followed very, very closely, and they taught me so much about making healthy living like easy, about eating healthier and working out. And so I did that, and I started to feel really pretty good about myself. And I started to get really passionate about it. You know, I loved working out for the first time in my life. I felt really good, eating really healthy. I loved eating whole foods, going to the farmer's market, that kind of thing. And so anyway, I get married, and I move hundreds of miles away with my husband so he could take this job offer that he had. And the plan was for me to just search for a job. Now, I had gone to, I had my undergrad degree in communication studies and entrepreneurship, and then I went to grad school for nonprofit work. I thought I wanted to do some nonprofit stuff. Now, in hindsight, I know the reason that I wanted to do that was because I had this belief that the only way I could help people was to do it without making money and do it in a nonprofit setting. So that was just my belief, and that's what I was doing. So we moved to a new state, and my husband goes to work, and I cannot for the life of me get a job. I am unemployed. I ended up being unemployed for like 6 months. And in the meantime, to pass the time in between the million job applications that I was sending out, I wanted to do something fun. And so because I loved setting up or reading and learning from healthy living blogs, I decided to start my own blog, and I called it Alisha's Appetite. And so what I would do is I would blog about my food and my workouts, and I started to meet this community of people online, and I started to make some friends because I hadn't met any in this new area that I lived. I didn't know anyone. And I loved it. It was a big passion of mine, and it was really fun. And so I continued to do that as I had a couple like odd end of jobs. I ended up not finding the job that I wanted, which at the time was devastating to me. I could not for the life of me understand why I wasn't getting the jobs that I wanted, the offers. But now I know that it was all on purpose, and I was being redirected. My rejection was all my redirection, right? So I ended up working for this startup company out of Germany, but I was working remote here in the States. And what the startup company, what they were selling this, this tool for wellness programs at companies. And in order for me to be a better salesperson, they wanted me to be certified as a wellness coach so I could go and talk to these wellness coaches. So I was like, that's perfect. I would love to do that because I am really into wellness. So I got certified. I just did this quick online certification, and then I had signed up for a legitimate certification that was starting later on. So after I got certified with that, unfortunately, this startup company wasn't going to make it. And they just let me know, hey, we're shutting down. It's not gonna happen. So here I was without a job again. But this time I was like, well, I have an audience. It's small, but I have an audience online. I am really passionate about that. And I'm certified to coach people. So what if I just started saying, hey, I can coach you? So I made this post online, and I ended up getting 3 clients right away and started working with them. Now at the same time, I had realized that I really was loving going to the yoga studio that I was going to. I was starting on my spiritual path, right? I think that there's like this natural progression that happens on this like wellness journey where you start with kind of like your food and your workouts and your body movement into more mind and spirituality and kind of bringing it all together in soul. And that's where I was on my path. And this yoga studio had opened up their first ever yoga teacher training program. And I was like, awesome, I'm definitely signing up. And then right after that, they opened up a front desk job, which I clearly needed. So I swallowed my pride, even though I was a graduate of undergrad, a graduate of a grad school program, and you know, I had a following and I was starting to coach people without even like really planning on it. It just kind of happened. I swallowed my pride and I started to do it. So for the next year, I taught tons of yoga classes. And then I also went and got more certified as a wellness coach, and I did this more legitimate educational program. And I continued to blog and build my online presence. And then things just kind of started to evolve from there. As I taught more and more classes, people were starting to follow me from that yoga studio online. And I eventually was asked to teach, you know, wellness workshops at the yoga studio. And I gladly did it because I was super passionate about it. And then I started to learn more about people who were coaching online and doing this type of stuff online. And I kind of got into learning about how to do that. And then I started to bring more of my workshops and programs online, started to get more clients. And so this went on for another year. And I was having a lot of fun. But you know when there comes a point in your journey where you know that there's like this next step that you have to take, but it's scary and you're not really sure why or what you're supposed to be doing? That's kind of where I felt and my husband felt at the same time. We knew it was time for us to move again and move so that we could continue to grow in the way that we needed to, even though we didn't really understand why. We just knew we had to honor that within. So we decided to leave everything and move to California. Now this was really scary for me because I would say about 80% of my income and what I was building was through like this yoga studio, and then I was supplementing it through like online, you know? And then I realized like I'm kind of like an accidental entrepreneur, which is hilarious because I have an entrepreneurial degree from undergrad, which I did not ever plan on being an entrepreneur, ever, but it just kind of happened. And so once I realized that and we moved, I had this aha, like, okay, I'm really doing this. You know, like it is all me. I'm definitely doing this. Now, when I moved to California, this is when someone who had been following me online as my audience was growing, and she reached out to me and she said, hey, I love your work. I love what you're doing. I think you would really love these essential oils. And I was like, no, I like what I'm doing. I'm good. Well, she stayed really persistent with me, and she said, I allowed her to send me samples, and right away I knew that there was something special and I wanted to learn more about them. And so when I moved, that's when I decided to order them and finally take in and buy like the world's best oils and start to incorporate them into my business. Like it just felt right for some reason. And I had no idea that this was going to change everything for me, everything. So that following couple of months in this new town, this new state, not knowing anyone again, really starting over, not completely, but a big part of it was really figuring out like, you know, what is my business model? How am I doing this? And I kept feeling this pull of, you know, wanting to reach more people and loving these oils. And so after a lot of conversations and tears, I had made the decision that I was ready to go all in and really incorporate sharing oils as my business model, because I just felt so called to it. And so that is what I did. So over this last year, I have been able to take all of these programs and courses that I've created and combine them with being able to offer them to people and teach people how to use essential oils through these programs, which is opening you up to this whole world of wellness. And so I love it so much, and now I'm able to work with other people. Whereas before, in the first like year that I moved to California alone and starting over in my business, I was completely alone. I wasn't working at a yoga studio anymore. I didn't really want to continue to go to a studio and continue to teach that way. I felt really drawn to do it online, which is why I'm, you know, making videos and placing content online, because I love connecting with people all over the world. But when I got into oils and this network marketing business, I felt like I really found my tribe. And it was the first time that I felt really supported in working with people who are doing the same thing as I am, and just completely cheering each other on and supporting each other, and like just loving it. It's so fun, and I'm so grateful that I followed this weird path that I had no idea what I was doing, but I trusted it. I'm very, very big on following the signs and trusting the process. I deeply, deeply believe that every single step of the way that I've been on my path has been because I said yes to the call, and I've said yes to the signs that I have been given, you know, all the way from the beginning of, yes, take that scary chance and start that blog, right? To, yes, take that scary chance and post online that you're going to accept clients. That was terrifying, right? Yes, take that scary chance of working that front desk and teaching yoga classes. Yes, take that scary chance of, you know, leaving everything that you had been starting to build and start over essentially in California. Yes, take that chance of going to learning about these essential oils. Yes, take that chance of really diving deep into that business model and allowing that to lead the way, because that is you sharing your truth and helping as many people as possible with something that has changed my life deeply, right? And so I wanted to share this with you. It was completely on accident. I never set out to do it, but I think that those are really awesome stories and journeys when people just follow their passion. And I do want to say, you know, your passion doesn't just like, you don't just have a passion typically. Your passion is something that starts off as something you're curious about. And once you follow that curiosity, then that curiosity develops more into a passion. And then that passion grows. You feed that passion, you give it love, and then the passion is something that you just have this spillover that you want to share with other people. And then that's how you can, you know, bring that to the world in an organic way and turn that into your online business, you know? So here are the things that I guess I want to leave you with, other than, you know, the story of kind of how it happened. This is a really condensed story too, so I hope that this all makes sense to you. But, you know, one thing, follow your curiosity, like I was saying, allow that to turn into your passion, and don't question it. Don't question if it's enough. Don't question if it's like, oh, I don't know, this is crazy. Who's gonna think that this is cool? It doesn't matter. If you think it's cool and if you are curious about it, then you need to follow that passion. And along the way, it's okay for you to change your mind. You know, like I still love, love, love yoga. I will continue to host like retreats in the future and teach classes here and there. And I'm always a yogi and a student at heart. But, you know, it took me some time to kind of like let go of this feeling that like, oh, I'm not teaching yoga full time anymore, because it was scary and I felt like I was making a mistake or like letting something go or giving up. But really, that's all a part of the plan, and I needed to learn those skills of being a teacher, of a yoga teacher, of learning about spirituality, of teaching about spirituality, of learning how to speak, of learning how to communicate and work with people, just so many things that it all makes sense. Also, follow your passion and follow like what feels really good to share online. So go to the online platform that feels the best and feels like the least resistance to you. So not a ton of people that I work with and that are kind of in my community are doing YouTube videos per se, but for me it feels fun. I love it. I've been making videos for a while and it feels fun to me. And so that has, like, you can feel my passion through the camera, I hope, right? And that's at least my intention. So people will feel that from you. So don't like do anything online that you think you should, just do it because that is what feels good. And if it doesn't feel fun, then don't do it. Because if you try to force it through online in a platform because you think you should, then people will like feel that energy and it just really falls flat, to be honest with you. The other thing is if you look up to someone and what they're doing, then follow that and be curious about it. So a huge reason why I have really allowed my essential oil business to be my driver and, you know, the model of my business is because a few years ago, in my online business of coaching and my wellness business, there were a couple people who I really looked up to and what it is that they did. And one person in particular does what I do now. And I continue to follow her and I really got curious about what is it? Why do I love what she does so much? Why am I so drawn to her? What is it about what she does that like lights me up? And I followed that and I honored that, even if it didn't look the same as what everyone else was doing. And that has led me to where I am now. And so I'm so happy now. I love what I do so much. I feel very on purpose. I feel that there are so many of you out there who want to be doing this as well. And that's a huge reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now, because I am able to offer that to you. I'm able to, the people who feel most drawn to me and want to do the same thing that I'm doing, I can teach you exactly how to do it, and we both benefit from it. And it's just the greatest thing ever because I'm just so passionate about helping you live the best life. And I think a huge part of it is living your passion every single day. It doesn't have to be, you know, this mundane life or your job. Like, you can do what you love and get paid for it and help as many people as possible as you want to, and you can do it online. You totally can. Just follow what's curious for you. And you know, if I'm that person, if you do really connect with me, click the link below and sign up for the Zen Babe Tribe, and you'll get more information on how you can request to like join my team and like learn more about being trained with me and join us, and we can like work together, honestly, if you vibe with that. So anyway, those are the things that I wanted to share with you. That's how I accidentally got into it. It was not on purpose, but you know, follow what you're curious about and you will be guided to the truth, and you will be guided to, you know, the path, as long as you take that inspiration that you're getting, take that curiosity and take action, even if it feels terrifying, because that is exactly what's gonna get you what you want and help you to feel the thing that you want to feel, you know? So if you guys like this kind of video, I would love it if you could give it a thumbs up, if you could leave a comment below, share it, all of the things. Be sure to subscribe, of course. I'm posting a lot more these days. Be sure to follow me over on Instagram, sign up for the Zen Babe Tribe, and then you will be granted access to join our essential oil community on Facebook to learn more about essential oils and join our community and potentially even learn how to do the business and start your own online business if you'd like with us. Completely optional. Most people who use oils with us, 80% actually, are just using the oils. They just love the oils so much, they have an account, they want to buy them and use them in their life, and that's exactly what they're there for. But there's also an opportunity for you to go further with it if that is something that like serves you, if that's like in your heart, you know? Okay, I will see you guys back here in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this touched you in your heart in some way, and I love you so much. Love you. Bye.